everybody, I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Flippin' Hippos. Today is Sunday, July 14th. And in this very special episode of Hungry Hippo, I'm not going to be sharing a recipe with you or cooking in the kitchen with you guys. We're going to talk about how to save time and money in the kitchen by being organized, making menus, and making good grocery lists. Whether you're a reseller or not, everybody wants to save money in the kitchen, and I think probably everybody wants to save time in the kitchen. Why I think it's so important for resellers is that most of us work from home and we don't have normal work days. I think the majority of us work around our lives, our children, our spouses, our families, our friends, and we may do like a burst of work in the morning and then we have life to deal with, a burst of work in the afternoon, and maybe some work at night. And so the less time we spend in the kitchen, the more time we have for our businesses and our other obligations like family and friends. And to us, resellers, time is money, but I think everyone wants to save time in the kitchen. It's no longer a day and age where people want to go in there and spend hours prepping, cooking, and cleaning up afterwards, unless you're a professional chef. I hear they enjoy that. I'm not a professional chef, and I don't enjoy that. The faster, the better. The easier the cleanup, the better. That is why most of the recipes in this Hungry Hippo series have been crock pot or one pot wonders. I like to just dump everything in a crock pot, walk away, come back and eat, and have a couple of dishes and my crock pot to clean. Saving time is valuable, but so is saving money. And I think a lot of people don't take the time anymore to do the things that can save you in the long run more time and money in the kitchen. And it's a shame because it only takes a couple of seconds a week to sit down and do these things. So we're going to talk about menu planning and grocery lists today and how they can save you tons of money at the store, tons of money from eating out, tons of time in the kitchen from being indecisive and not knowing what to cook, and all the extra trips running to the store multiple times a week. That's time, that's you spending more money. All of that can be avoided with a couple of minutes of planning. So before you embark upon this new journey in your life of saving time and money in the kitchen, the first thing you might want to do is make a master list of all of your family's favorite recipes. Again, this will take more than a couple minutes. It took me like 20 or 30 to set up our master list, and I actually did it in a spreadsheet on the computer and linked websites where I had the recipes. So I took a couple of extra steps. If you're just going to make a list of the stuff people like, it'll take even less time. You can put it in your bullet journal. You can put it on a piece of paper that you put on your fridge with a magnet, or you keep in a cupboard in the kitchen. You can do a spreadsheet the way I did it. You can do this any number of ways. I did mine on a spreadsheet just because there are some recipes that I still sometimes need to look at the recipe. So I did hyperlinks in the spreadsheet so I could link to the recipe. And also, as I go down the list and make these items, I can erase them from the top of the spreadsheet and put them in at the bottom. And then you can delete those empty spaces and the list will move up. And you're kind of rotating constantly through the meals, so you're not eating the same things over and over. No one is getting bored. And I did take another like 5 or 10 minutes, give or take, when I made our master list, just going through different blogs I found and cooking websites, looking for easy one-pot meals and crock-pot meals that I thought our family might enjoy. And I added those to the master list of our already tried, tested, and true favorites. But you can seriously just scratch these on a piece of paper and put them on your fridge. I think everybody has their favorites, and it doesn't take long to make a list. So what you need to do is you need to pick a day once a week that you're going to go to the grocery store. And that day can be any day for you, depending on your family, your situation, your business, your schedule. And try to go like at the same time every day just so you get into the routine. You guys know that I'm super duper big on building routines and getting things in place that become habitual for you that you can almost do on autopilot. So we know that every Wednesday after dinner we go grocery shopping. So, take all of these things into account when you pick your day. Your local store you shop at When do they have the best sales? What do you guys eat the most of? When can you find that the cheapest? Because it's all about saving the money. Here's the thing. I could be a billionaire and I would still bargain shop. I like to save money. I could have thousands of dollars in the bank and you will still find me at Shop and Save on Wednesday evening to get my $1.97 a pound turkey. I don't believe in throwing money away or spending it on things that you don't need to just because you have it. You should save money everywhere you can so that you have more money to spend things on the way you want. And I know that Dave Ramsey talks a lot about that too, like the example of him saying if you can give up one $5 coffee a day, you could be a millionaire by the time you retire. You should always, always, always be saving money everywhere you can. This applies to your reselling business. You know, you guys are always out there looking for those bargains at the yard sales and the Goodwills and the thrift stores and the estate sales. You always want to buy really, really low so you can sell high. Well, in your personal life, you want to buy low too. Just because you can afford $6 a pound per turkey, do you really want to pay it? When you could pay $2, and then you could use that extra money to buy more goodies and snacks for your family if you want, or just let it add up in the bank, like the example of the $5 coffees Ramsey gives us. I am a firm believer you should always save money everywhere you can, no matter what, because then you're always going to have more money for your wants. If you're a bargain hunter and you find corners to cut or ways to save money, absolutely do it. It does add up. If you could save $25 or $50 a week on groceries, that could be up to $200 a month, which is $2,400 a year. Is $2,400 a year enough for you to go to eBay Open? Is it enough for you to go on a vacation somewhere? So that's like the kind of mindset I have, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So once you have your master list of your menu of the meals that your family likes to eat, maybe some new ones that you want to try, you pick the day of the week that you want to go shopping and the time of day. This way, that time, that day of the week, every week becomes a habit, becomes routine for you, becomes part of your schedule, because you don't want to veer off from it. The reason people end up ordering in more often than they should or need to, or eating out more often than they should or need to, is because they haven't planned ahead. They don't have what they need in the kitchen to make a meal that they've already planned. Alternatively, they won't order in or go out to eat. They'll make multiple runs to the grocery store throughout the week, and that adds up as well. So you want to keep to this day and this time. You want to go grocery shopping when you say you're going to go grocery shopping, so you don't run into the event where you have to make extra trips, order in, or eat out if it wasn't planned. Once you know when you're going to go shopping, 5 to 10 minutes before you go, sit down with a pen and a piece of paper or a list on your phone. They have tons of apps for groceries on your phone now, notepads, all kinds of things you can use. I think they even have some apps where you can have a master list of groceries. If there are certain staples that you're going to buy every single week for your family, orange juice, milk, coffee creamer, salad, fruit, whatever your family does, there are certain things that some of us will buy every single week over and over and over again. I know there's apps that you can create a list that will already have those on there for you, and then you just add anything additional you need. I'm old-fashioned. I do it with a pen and paper. But you want to sit down with a pen and paper and write down the next 7 days of meals. And you can write down any days you plan on eating out. So you know you're not planning a meal that night. So you would write like Friday, eat out, Saturday, tacos, Sunday, dinner with grandma, Monday, meatloaf, and just go through all the way through to the next time you're going to go shopping, which should be 7 days from now. Now that you have your meals planned, then I make a list. If you've got an app on your phone, they're usually pretty organized for you. I write on a piece of paper like deli, produce, shelves, frozen dairy, kind of break the store up. I know the order of my store too, like when you start and you go across. So I keep my list in the order of how I'm going to go through my store. Why? Because again, I'm saving time. If you zigzag back and forth and you're all over the place on the store trying to get your list done, you're wasting time. So if you do go to the same store every single week, you do kind of know it starts in produce and ends in dairy, or starts in produce and dairy and ends in the deli. However yours is set up, I know that most of us do go to the same stores every week, time and time again, sometimes more than once a week, and you can kind of get the layout memorized, and you can set your list up to the layout so you can go from one end of the store to the next, and by the time you're over here at the end of the store or the other side of the store, you're through your list and you can go to the checkout, and you're not backtracking or going back and forth, which can be a real time waster. So what I do once I have the categories, not topics. Once I have the categories written down on my piece of paper, deli, produce, etc., I write down our staples, things that we get every single week, things that Keith needs for his lunch, things that I need for lunch, things my kid needs for lunch, breakfast items, all the staples like coffee, creamer, and all that stuff. You can pretty much guarantee there are, again, always things you're going to buy. So I write all those down. And then I go down the menu that I just created and write down anything I need for those recipes, one by one. And then, one step further to be organized, we do keep what I call a running list on the refrigerator. It is a dry erase board, so every week I can erase it and we can start over. But the dry erase board is there for two reasons. Number one, the most important reason, is so that we never ever run out of anything. This avoids, again, the extra trips out to Walmart or the grocery store or the dollar store. We don't like to run out of stuff. We don't like to make extra trips. So anytime we notice anything in our house that we will need to buy again is halfway empty, we put it on the list. If the dish soap bottle is half empty, you write dish soap. If you wash your hands and you notice the hand soap is half empty, it's your responsibility to write hand soap. If you put the second to last toilet paper roll on the roll, write toilet paper on the list. I've kind of trained all my kids and Keith and everybody here. This is the only area I can get everybody on board to be as OCD as me. But once they notice something's half or less, they'll put it on the board. And that way we never run out of anything. And this also applies to business supplies. So if Keith or I notice that the awesome is half gone, we'll write awesome on the board. Bubble wrap, tape, whatever we need for the business, and that way we know when we're out that week shopping to get the business supplies as well. And we never run out of those either. And a step further with those, for the stuff that we don't personally shop for, that we order online, we'll just order once we notice we're half gone or on the next to last pack, just so we never run out of anything. So the dry erase board is there for you and your family, if you can train them, to write stuff on there that's almost out, you should probably replace. That way you never run out and you're not making extra trips. But number two, it's for the wants. So, if you get a hankering one day and you think, well, I haven't had barbecue chips in a long time, or I want some Lipton tea, and it's not a staple or something you're used to buying, you can just write it on the list and you know to get it. I have my kid write things he wants on there from the store, like chips, or if he wants a specific flavor of Kool-Aid or whatever that week. Keith writes stuff he wants on there. So it's kind of a way to keep track of what you're low on, but additionally what people want. So to recap, if you want to save a ton of time and money in the kitchen, you're going to have to get a little bit more organized. You're going to need a master list of all of the meals and recipes that are tested and truly loved meals your family enjoys. You can add recipes and meals on there that you want to try, new things, but you got to have that master list. You need to pick a day once a week that you go to the store and make that a routine, make that a habit. Make sure that every week at that time you're going to the store. Before you go, sit down, make a menu for the upcoming week, get out your grocery list, put down your staples, any ingredients you will need for those meals you just put on the menu, and then you should have a running list on your fridge where people are writing down things that are about to run out or things they want from the store, and you can add that to the list last, and then you have an organized, nice list to go to the store. The only other tip I would give you guys is don't go to the store hungry. I have found that out years and years ago. I think it's probably been over 20 years since I went to the store hungry. You're more likely to get impulse buys, food that's not that good for you, junk food, impulse buys, buy things off of those end caps that you really don't need, if you're hungry. You will buy more. So if you go on a full stomach, you can pretty well just go from one end of the store to the other and stick to your list. These tips and tricks will absolutely save you time and money in the kitchen. We all need more time, and I guess we'd all like more money, or at least to save money where we can. So I hope this helps you guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Before you leave, hit that like button. It does help the channel. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. Join our Facebook group. The link to join is in the description box down below. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos across all social media. Until next time, you guys have a good night.